Hi everyone, I'm Shannon Brandyberry, Special Projects Editor with MotorAge. Thanks for joining us today as we take a quick look at 3 ways you can make your service repair information your silver bullet. I'm pleased to be joined today by Gary Hixson, Senior Marketing Manager with Mitchell 1. Gary, we've talked in the past about quick ways that technicians and even service writers can improve their service repair knowledge to more accurately and quickly perform vehicle repairs if, and that's a big if, they do the proper research. So let's get to it. You have for us today 3 quick tips that technicians can use to capitalize on repair information and turn it into the silver bullet that they're looking for. Tip number 1 is to use real-world information and real-world fixes from fellow technicians.
Thank you, Shannon. I'm really happy to be joining you today. That's right. Real-world fixes are a great place to start your diagnosis and repair. And a great place to find real-world fixes is in the repair information from ProDemand and Mitchell 1. We have a feature called SureTrack that's focused on diagnostics. Let's take a look. SureTrack provides access to over 30 million real fixes based on actual repair performed by professional technicians all throughout North America. So these repair orders can link up codes and symptoms to the components that's replaced for that specific vehicle. It's coming from real aftermarket repair orders, so you know the information's good. Next, SureTrack gives a common repair procedures graph and list of probable components. When you enter a code or symptom into SureTrack, we'll return the most likely component failure based on that specific year, make, model, combination, and real-life cases we've seen in the aftermarket. In this example, we're looking at 2005 Mini Cooper with a code P1688. On the top of the screen, you can see the common repair procedures graph, and we're returning a harmonic balancer as the number 1 most likely failed component. If you read down through the list of on the page, and it's a real fix, it shows complaint cause correction, and within that cause section, it's going to walk you right through the diagnostics that you need to do in order to verify that it is the harmonic balancer. Now let's contrast that with what the OEM provides for this information, for this code. It's the P1688. This is from Mini Cooper, and this row of text is really all they provide. And they're pointing more towards the mass airflow sensor in terms of giving a definition of what the code means. So as a technician, that kind of leaves you high and dry as far as where to go next. That's why the real-world information is so important, because we can save you time by pointing you right to that harmonic balancer as the most likely issue. For all types of technicians, SureTrack can help out. When a technician is given a symptom or code to diagnose, that tech has to build a strategy. And a list of probable components helps out with building out that strategy. For the beginning tech, SureTrack can provide a full list for them to build out the diagnostic strategy. In this example, I have a 2004 Ford pickup, F-150, and we have a P0191 fuel rail pressure sensor. And you can see down below the list of probable components. SureTrack's going to give you a list based on most likely to least likely. And as a beginning diagnostic technician, that can really help out as far as getting you started as to where you should begin your diagnosis. Now we can also have something for the more advanced technicians, and likely they're going to know to begin by checking out the fuel pump driver module, fuel filter, fuel pump. But they may not know about the inertia fuel shutoff switch. So for the advanced technicians, we help them out by, even though they've already tested the top 3 most likely things that they probably know by their experience, it's those more obscure or more unlikely fixes that we're helping them out on. Now, all the SureTrack information includes component test information. So from the leader in diagnostics, our sister company is Snap-on Diagnostics. So Mitchell 1 pairs up with them to provide you with this component test information, which includes component description, component location, connector end view, best test location, and test to run. So the reason we do this is because we don't want you to be a parts swapper. We want you to do proper diagnostics. And that's why we include the component test information along with all the other SureTrack real-world information to make sure that you properly test and diagnose everything.
All right, Now that the technician has found real-world fixes, let's look at tip number 2, build a network.
Absolutely. Building out a network is important as it allows you to bounce ideas off your fellow technicians and gain from their experiences. What's even better is there are networks already in place today that you can join and have access to thousands of technicians and their combined experience. Let me show you an example. Even with all the real-world information provided, we realize that technicians still come across unique situations and get stuck when diagnosing. That's why we offer the community. On the screen, we have the community homepage. As you can see, just by looking down the replies column, you can see an active community with a number of replies to many of the questions that are asked in the community. With our SureTrack community, we have tens of thousands of members made up between the Mitchell 1 subscribers and as well as Snap-on Diagnostic subscribers and technicians across the country. That includes users of Modus and Veris. We wanted to give technicians direct access to other techs who are coming across the same issues in the field. Who better to help guide you through the diagnosis other than other technicians? Most of the questions that are asked usually get answered in 10 to 15 minutes. Typically, the thread turns into a series of back and forth questions, gathering more information and providing ideas that the question asker might try in order to resolve the issue. So let me take you through a community example. On the screen, I have a blog post that I've actually written up, and it's about a 2010 Ford pickup truck 250. And the problem was that there was a no crank, and it was actually seeing security system issues, and basically the alarm was going off. So looking into this came into the community as a question asked by a technician to other techs, and we got some great feedback from many of the other community members. But what ultimately this led to checking out was that was the ABS module that was the problem that was causing the no crank and causing the anti-theft system to go off. So it seems a bit obscure, but that's exactly why the community is there to help out other technicians. One last thing I want to say about the community is it's a free service on top of the Mitchell 1 subscription. So as long as you're a subscriber to Mitchell 1, there's no other charges for it.
So now that we've looked for real-world fixes and started networking, that brings us to tip number 3. Don't be afraid of a shortcut, if it's a well-documented shortcut.
That well-documented part is the key here. Shortcuts are good and helpful, but let's make sure it's a proper one. For instance, let's take a look in Quick Links in ProDemand. So as soon as you land on the OneSearch tab, Quick Links are right in the middle of the page, right across the front. Now, quick links follow the 80-20 principle. 80% of the value of the product can be found using 20% of the features, and that's true with ProDemand and with these quick links. So 80% of the lookups that people do in ProDemand, you could navigate to by navigating through the quick links. Let's just talk about a couple of them. First, you got the common specs and procedures. Now, this includes items such as drive belt routing, firing order, torque specs, all the most common information looked up in ProDemand, and all contained under this one link. ProDemand also has the best layout for fluids, both fluid specs and fluid types, in one easy-to-read table. Tire fitment information is unique and exclusive to ProDemand, so there's lots of good information in there for you. Reset procedures, also a great set of information that'll save you a lookup. Basically, every time you have an indicator light or a TPMS, it has to be reset. So just knowing that you can go straight to the reset procedures can save you time. Also, there are more, including our legendary wiring diagrams, which are and our TSBs, which are up to date within a month of publication. So there you go, Shannon. 3 quick tips to make your service repair information your silver bullet.
Thanks, Gary. These 3 tips are a great way for technicians and others to really boost their knowledge of systems and find that elusive silver bullet we all want when it comes to automotive repair. Speaking of silver bullets, I encourage you to download a white paper that really covers how you can make sure that you have the right service information at your fingertips for any type of repair. The white paper can show you how to work smarter, not harder, how to be prepared for informed customers, and what to look for in the service information system. Download the white paper today at motorage.com/silverbullet. Thanks again, Gary, for joining me today, and good luck to all of you in your searches for service repair information.